Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop, a retired meteorologist, also a backyard astronomer, and a gardener as well. Today I'm going to talk about those three things. This is going to be a three for one type video that I'm going to be presenting to you today. And I'm going to talk about other things, as particularly why have I not been posting lately. We'll discuss all that. But the first thing I do want to discuss is this cold wave. It's on the way. It's about 2 weeks early this year, the first hard freeze and frost of the season. Usually around here, that begins around or happens around November 25th to 28th, thereabouts, mid to late November in the coastal areas west of Interstate 95. It's a little bit earlier, around November 15th or so. But this year, it looks like it's going to be about November 10th and 11th. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because it's going to be a very cold cold snap. It's just going to be a snap coming in and going out. But if you have a garden like I do, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, this is very important information that you need to know. And if you love cold weather, well, then you're in luck. If you don't like cold weather, well, get ready to bundle up. All right, first of all, let's go into the maps and talk about that. And bringing in the map right now. This is the upper level map, the 200 millibar map. This is kind of like where the jet airliners fly, and it's about 35,000 feet above the surface. Anyway, it's a good area to talk about because this dictates where the weather conditions are going to be and how they're going to be moving. And right now we have what's called a zonal flow going from the west to the east, a little bit dip over here in the middle portion of the country. But watch what happens when we go into time. The jet stream starts to amplify southward into a very strong trough, and this is for Monday at sunset, actually a little bit before sunset. And it shows the very strong trough. Now, what this is kind of like the polar vortex to some extent, but it shows a very strong northerly flow from central northern Canada coming down the central plains, the Mississippi River Valley, and then curving off into the northeastern Gulf, into across Florida, and then up the east coast of the United States. And let's just go a couple more days in advance. And there you can see, as fast as it came in, it's going to be moving on out. But this is going to usher in some very cold air across our region. We're talking sub-freezing temperatures in the early portions of the month of November. Usually, again, as I said earlier, we don't see this particularly in the coastal regions of southeastern Georgia until around November 25th, 28th, thereabouts, the end of November. But we're seeing it early this year if this particular pattern holds, and it looks like it's going to hold. So I'm continuing to watch this as well. So with that, let's take a look at some of the forecast temperatures. And this is for the low temperatures for Tuesday morning. Monday night, Tuesday morning, November 10th, Monday night, November 11th, Tuesday morning. And it shows everywhere east of the Mississippi River and a little bit further west of the Mississippi River, freezing or below, including southeastern Georgia and eastern South Carolina. Even in the northern portions of Florida, we could see some sub-freezing temperatures there. Let's take a closer look at the southeast United States, and there we have it there. You can see the very cold air across. Looks like in this scenario is centered over eastern Mississippi and Alabama going up into Tennessee. Still cold air in Georgia and South Carolina and northern portions of Florida. And closer yet across southeastern Georgia and South Carolina, there we have the temperatures in the upper 20s across central and eastern Georgia to the low to middle 30s across the coastal areas of Georgia and into South Carolina. It has 34 degrees for Savannah. However, I think it's going to be a little bit colder than that. I'm shooting for, and so is the National Weather Service, ironically, is about 30 degrees for the Savannah area, perhaps 34 degrees on the east side of Savannah on the islands. But also on this morning here, the Tuesday morning, with the cold air coming in, it's going to be windy, not breezy, but windy. We're going to see winds coming down from the north-northwest at 15 to 20, perhaps even 25 miles an hour. So that's going to make it feel even colder than what it is, or what it would be. High temperatures are only going to be in the low to middle 50s on Monday, Tuesday, when this cold front passes on through. And then the winds will start diminishing Monday afternoon, going into Monday night, and Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. Let's start that over again. Now, the winds will be diminishing on Tuesday late day into the early evening hours. They're becoming calm Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that's going to allow temperatures to again drop down into the lower 30s to upper 20s, but with no wind. Frost is likely, and frost with this type of weather conditions is more deadly to the gardener, not to the gardener, but to the garden, with the frosting on the plants itself. And not only am I expecting frost, I'm expecting a widespread, thick and heavy frost across just about the entire region. Perhaps along the islands, maybe just some scattered frost, but anything west of the intracoastal waterway, I expect to see some very heavy, thick frosting going on. So if you have a garden, keep watching, because I'm going to show you what I got planned going ahead with my winter garden that I have going right now. But let's take a quick look at my website, savannahpat.name, and it's calling for the autumn weather to continue for the next few days. It looks like through the weekend, but then on Sunday night and Monday, that cold front passes on through, and a strong cold front at that, and that's going to allow the temperatures to drop into the upper 20s to lower 30s with this cold snap. And this is also going to be challenging the records for the low temperatures for Monday night and Tuesday night, the 11th and the 12th. Now, the record for Tuesday is 31 degrees, and looks like I'm forecasting at least a degree below that in the Savannah area. Statesboro, you're going to be 28, 27 degrees there. And the record low for Wednesday morning, the 12th, is 30 degrees. And once again, that record will be challenging as well. So we might be seeing some record lows. We usually don't see these record lows. We're seeing more and more record highs lately and record rainfalls, but this is the case where we're going to see potential record lows across our area. But the good news is, and if you have a garden, don't give up. Get ready to protect. Don't give up, because looking ahead, we have below normal temperatures coming in beginning early next week with the cold front coming on through. But then after that, the next 5 weeks, we're going to see temperatures above normal to slightly above normal across the region. So if you do have a winter garden, let's talk about that, because you're going to have some great growing conditions for those cool weather crops. And to me, this is one of the best times of the year to grow a winter garden. And let's take a look at mine. First of all, I've been producing and generating and building raised beds, because it seems like raised beds are a better option than planting directly into the ground. But over here, you can see I have, this is Brussels sprouts over here. I started about 4 or 5 weeks ago with 6 packs of plants. Over here, I have some more, I'm trying to grow some tomatoes in here, but those tomatoes aren't going to make it through the freeze. But I have this set up so I can wrap it with a freeze cloth. And over here, this is cauliflower coming up. The cauliflower, you get one pick and that's it. Once your head forms, you don't get any side shoots, where in broccoli and Brussels sprouts, you continue to get side shoots. So with cauliflower, I like to stagger my planting. This is a second planting over here. Let's take a look at another view here. This is another area of cauliflower they have growing here. This is the initial wave, and the cauliflower here on the left is that green cauliflower, kind of like broccoli flower. And, well, it is so good. And over here, this side is the white cauliflower. And so this should come in harvest first, then this will be second, then the other one will come in on third. All right, and looking ahead for the area, more cauliflower. This is another planting of cauliflower, successive planting of cauliflower, because you don't want it ripening all at once. And one thing about these plants, known as the brassica family, they don't mind the cold weather. As a matter of fact, they like cool weather. They don't like hot weather at all. And they'll take it down into the upper 20s. Brussels sprouts, I found out, will take it down into the low to middle 20s without any protection, and they'll survive. They might look beat up for a little bit, but they'll survive. But cauliflower and broccoli, I'll need to cover that up a little bit, a light cover to protect them from the frost that will be associated with this. All right, and this is a bean tower I have, green beans. I love green beans, and it's beginning to bloom right now, but I need to, what I need to do is wrap this with the frost cover that I have be putting out on Sunday and Monday, protecting the, hopefully to protect this from the frost and the freeze, because I love these green beans. And again, we'll have 2 nights of sub-freezing temperatures, and that's it. And then in the next 5 weeks, it's going to be great. So if I can protect these green beans, I'll have some great growing weather and production of green beans. It'll be just in time for certainly for Christmas, maybe even Thanksgiving. I might have some green beans going if I can protect them from this hard freeze. Here's tomato plants I'm growing in the pots, and these are large cherry tomatoes, or almost grape tomato size, and they're already producing tomatoes on them, and they're in the big pots. If I have to, I can slide them into the greenhouse or the garage. And over here, this is a dahlia that's been blooming all winter, all summer long into the autumn months, and hope to protect it. I have this one growing in a pot as well. This one's called Hercules. Boy, it's a beautiful dahlia at that. All right, this is one of the things I'll be using. You can use old bed sheets. When our bed sheets wear out, we don't throw them away. I grab them up and I use them in the garden to cover up for situations just as this, with the frost and freezing temperatures coming in. This will help protect my plants in these raised beds, because the beds are already raised, so it makes it easier to put these covers over them, and I just drape them over the garden itself. And there's another closer view of the tomato plants. You can see flowers blooming on them already. I do have some little tomatoes already in here. There's one way down over here. Looks like it's got about another 2 weeks though before it's ready to be picked, so I definitely need to protect them in this cold snap that's coming in. Oh, there's the Hercules once again. It's such a lovely autumn. It looks like autumn flower, doesn't it? Anyway, there's the cauliflower once again at a different angle, and you can see how I got this. This is an insect cloth, and the shade. I have a shade cloth for it too when it was too hot, but I do have that frost cover I'll be putting over this to protect it, even though it can probably take it down to about 28 degrees without any major damage. It'll be bitten a little bit, and it might complain a little bit, but it won't die. It'll be okay. Then after that, it should be good. I should be having cauliflower hopefully by early December, more so by mid-December, definitely by Christmas. I'll be having fresh cauliflower from the garden. All right, and that's a broccoli area there. I got some broccoli in this little 1 meter by 1 meter raised garden here, 3.1 feet by 3.1 feet, and that's broccoli in there. I have about 6 broccoli plants that are growing in there. And one thing nice about broccoli, it'll put on a nice head, and then after you pick the head, it'll send up side shoots all winter long. Last year I had broccoli growing and nearby, not in that particular one, but I had it growing nearby. And I started picking right before Christmas. I had some really nice heads, and I was picking side shoots all the way up into early April. I was getting fresh broccoli all winter long, even though we had that snow and freezing rain and sleet and temperatures in the low to middle 20s for several nights. I covered up the broccoli just a little bit, and it survived. Again, I was eating fresh broccoli into early April. So I was very pleased with that. And this here is my Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts get a bad rap because a lot of people, I don't like Brussels sprouts. And, well, you never had them fresh from the garden, if you say that, because they are so good. I just pick them off the stalks that will be growing later on this winter. Probably in January and February, I'll start getting some Brussels sprouts. And I pick them off there, and I just slice them in half, or depending on the size, if they're large, I'll pick them and cut them into quarters, and just put a little olive oil on there, a little garlic powder, and other additional light seasoning, and just cook them in the microwave with the lid on for about 5 minutes. And I tell you what, it's so good, and you don't lose much of the nutritional values while cooking it that way. If you boil your brassica plants like broccoli, cauliflower, or Brussels sprouts, you're throwing away a lot of the vitamins when you pour the water out. A lot of the vitamins get leached into the water, and you just throw it away. So what's the value of that? I love Brussels sprouts, and they don't like the heat. They love the cool weather. And again, last year I was growing these Brussels sprouts that's basically in the same area, and I didn't protect them at all, and I was eating Brussels sprouts in March and April of last year. All right, we got a couple more pictures here. Oh yeah, I'm growing some carrots. Carrots love cool weather as well, and they'll put up with the cold weather. On this side over here, these are carrots. That's a potato that got in there somehow. It fell I'll let it grow. I'll cover these up, but the carrots can take it down pretty low. And these over here are beets, and beets are another cold weather vegetable that you can grow in the winter months, fall and winter months. And they should survive. I'm not a really great fan of beets, but they're so good for you. So I decided to grow my own. Maybe they'll taste a little bit better freshly pulled from the garden. All right. One more. Oh yeah, I got some more broccoli over here. This is another wave of broccoli. I got let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12 broccoli plants over here in the garden, and these are planted basically in the ground, not so much a raised bed. But I had the space there, and I had some extra broccoli, so there they are, the broccoli plants growing over there. And yeah, and one of the things I like to do, particularly with beans and tomatoes and peppers and things like that, grow French marigolds because they help ward off the root knot nematodes. Not to mention, they just look good. I just like the way they look, so I grow them anyway. But I started these from seeds last summer, and I got them in there with my bean tower right now. All right, let's take a look at something else from the garden going into above from the heavenly garden, astronomy. And I've been playing around with some equipment and so forth and new devices. And some of the targets I just want to share with you. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to get into the details of that. I'll do that on the astronomy channel. But this is the Andromeda Galaxy right here. And that's our closest galactic neighbor. And what is it, about 2.1 million light years away. So you're seeing this picture, the way it looked, this galaxy, the way it looked about 2.1 million years ago. But anyway, that's the Andromeda Galaxy. And this one, I love this one. This is called the Heart and Soul Nebula. It's up in this northern sky. I think it's in the constellation Cassiopeia. And well, obviously this is the Heart Nebula, and this is the Soul Nebula. And the combination of the two is the Heart and Soul Nebula. And right in this area here, right in that area there, that's new star birth going on. Creation is continuing ongoing. This is where new stars are being born over here in the Heart Nebula. And there's other areas in the sky where stars are being born, particularly in the Orion Nebula and the Rosette Nebula. All right, let's take a look at, well, there's the Orion Nebula way up over here, and there's the Running Man Nebula there. And this is the Horsehead Nebula. The Horsehead Nebula, I was always fascinated with that. That was one of the first astronomical targets I photographed when I got into astrophotography back in 2016. And it didn't come out that good because when I first looked at it through the telescope, and I was so excited, and I got this new telescope, and said, oh, the Horsehead Nebula is going to look so great. And I looked at through the telescope, I go, where is it? I can't find it. I can't see it. Actually, it is very dim. This is a time-lapse photography here, image. It's about 3 hours of image exposure time. But what I took this for is not so much for the Horsehead Nebula, which does look like a head of a horse, does it not? Anyway, also looks like a hammer. Anyway, that's the Flame Nebula there. These three stars here are the notorious or famous stars that form the belt of Orion the Hunter, the belt of Orion the Hunter. So they're three very bright stars up in that portion of the sky. I think I got one more picture here. Oh yeah, this is the North America Nebula, and it's on its side right now, but this is just loaded with stars and nebulosity. And I think I can rotate this. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks more like the North America continent right here. You can see here's Canada, here's Florida, the Gulf of, I'm going to still call it the Gulf of Mexico. There you have Mexico and Central America right there. So yeah, that's called the North America Nebula. And over here, this one here is called the Pelican Nebula. Can you guess why? If you really look at it carefully and then take your eye off it and look back at it, kind of looks like a pelican, doesn't it? The beak of the pelican right here, and there's its wing over here, and there's the top of its head over here, and its beak over here. So you got that big pelican beak right in this area here. So yeah, yeah, it's called the Pelican Nebula. And okay, that's it with these guys here. So the last thing I want to talk about is, well, where have I been? Haven't been doing too much posting because, well, technically it's been kind of hard to do some posting. I have a bad knee, and that's what happened here. In August, I tore more ligaments and also tore, well, the ACL and ripped the meniscus in my right knee. And then upon the x-rays, the orthopedic surgeon says, well, not only that, are torn ligaments, you have a severe case of arthritis in your knees right there. And basically, you're going to need a new knee. So, and he said, if I showed your picture, your x-ray to 100 orthopedic surgeons, 100 would say, get a new knee. So that's what I did. I got a total knee replacement. And, you just don't get, they swap out a knee like you swap out oil filters or something like that. This takes a lot of time for healing, and I'm in that healing process right now. The operation, the surgery occurred about 10 days ago now, and I still got about 3 to 4 weeks of some heavy-duty physical therapy to go. I'm already walking, though, but it's very difficult to sit behind a desk and do editing, which I'm doing right now, without the knee starting to throb. I got ice on my knee right now, but yeah, that's what's happening. I had total knee replacement, so hopefully with that I'll be able to I'll get back to walking again and jogging, perhaps even. He said I might be able to even jog with this new bionic knee. I guess he's calling it the bionic knee. All right, well. So much more about that. Let's talk more about the conditions coming up. Thanks for watching. Thank for all those who have been supporting my channel. And the cold air is on the way in. I may be able to get another video up before the cold front comes on through, depending on how my knee feels. Maybe I'll get one up for hopefully Sunday, showing me protecting the garden, getting ready to protect the garden. And again, this was a 3-for-1 video. I had 3 different videos: my astronomy video, my gardening video, and my weather video, all in one, because I like you guys so much. I give you it all in one swath right here. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. I might be even jogging by your house soon. Bye.